Hello, gang, and welcome to another episode of 5 to Thrive. I'm Scott Kutcher, and today we're going to talk a little bit about promises. So, in business, we all have to promise things, how things perform, whether it's a product or a service, time frames, I'll deliver it in this time frame, so on and so forth. They're all over the place. But we now live in a time where promises are made to be broken, and they're broken a lot by brands out there. And so today's consumers are really, quite frankly, befuddled and really skeptical. They don't trust easily. So why is it important, and what is the result of doing the right thing, quite frankly, promising and making sure you can deliver on that promise? Well, recently I was part of a national bid, a very large bid in my industry. And quite frankly, we were the David versus all the Goliaths because there were some great companies, big ones, lots of resources. They promised a lot of things, but they weren't listening to what the needs of the client was. So about a month and a half before the official bid process, I had a lot of conversations, a lot of emails going back and forth with this client, and also with the sign company that we were partnering up with to service this client. And during that process, I learned so much. And then I was able to really pinpoint what mattered to them most and identify things they really, quite frankly, weren't thinking about in the bidding process. They were asking me to promise some things, quite frankly, we could not promise. It wasn't going to do certain things they wanted it to do. But yet some of our competitors, and it's kind of disheartening because I have a lot of respect for them, promised some things they couldn't deliver on. And how I know that is because I test all the product. And I've played around with most of it. And because of it, I can give a good educated response. I didn't want to win this and not be able to fulfill that promise, because you only get one shot at a program this large and to be able to fulfill the promises that come along with it. So I almost kind of tried to sabotage it. Not on purpose, but according to traditional sales standards, I was the guy going, well, it won't do this and it won't do that. And be careful of this person's product because I've tested it and it may not do what you want to here or may not do here. Once you double check with them and make sure that you've got some references on it. I was just trying to make sure they got what they needed. And at one point, I thought, man, that level of honesty, that level of laying it out there, is it going to bite me? Because I think we're under the illusion in business that we have to inflate things, especially when it comes to sales, inflate them in order to get the deal. And then we'll handle any repercussions afterwards. I think that's changed a lot. I don't know if it's ever truly been a thing, but I think just 10 years ago, you could have got away with that. Now, you can't. It's impossible to get away with it. Heck, if we're being honest, since, 2007, it started getting more and more difficult because of social networks and technologies and the iPhone and having the internet in your hand and just all the different things that collide that give the consumers power to double check whether or not, quite frankly, you're full of crap with your promises. So why even chance it? Not to mention, what about your integrity level? So I'm saying this to me as much as anyone else, we've got to up our game. We have to make sure that what we promise, we can deliver on. Because today's consumers, quite frankly, demand it. So until next time, sign on.